Academy of Ham Radio, welcoming all those who wish to become ham radio operators and to learn this subject and as well as contribute their services at national and statewide disasters. Whenever a calamity occurs, it is a usual practice. Our latest technology, it is like that, always fails whenever a disaster occurs. Communication plays vital role in times of emergency, but unfortunately, the communication itself get disrupted during the course of a disaster. First and foremost casualty would be communication normally in any disaster. So that is why ham radio communication was chosen as disaster communication. It was worldwide recognition to this activity. The advanced countries like US and Britain and other countries are also rely on this ham radio in passing the very urgent messages relating to disaster. Since it is an independent communication system, it will not be disturbed during the course of any disaster. Normally, a cyclone, flood, earthquake or fire accident or any type of disasters disturbs the existing communication network. What we have seen in the past during our experiences, the so-called prestigious cell towers twist 360 degrees with the impact of gale winds in the super cyclones like Orissa, what we have experienced, and the fiber optic cables will be disturbed in the event of any Gujarat earthquake, in which also we have participated. Hams from Andhra Pradesh have been transported by special aircrafts by 3 aeroplanes with the intervention of then Chief Minister Mr. Chandrababu Naidu Garu at the time of 2000, when a earthquake rocked the Kutch area. The areas like Gandhidham, Bus, Anjar, Bachao, all these places have experienced heavy losses due to the impact of 2000 Gujarat earthquake. The communications were fully disturbed. The fiber optic cables, due to the impact of earthquake, disturbed. The buildings on which the cell towers were installed were collapsed, and thus there was a huge loss to the communication network and as well as human losses and property losses also. Immediately, the then Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh taken a decision and instructed the ham radio operators who were on the part of disaster management to move immediately to those affected places, and 3 special aircrafts have been put ready to transport radio hams. About 25 ham radio operators have been transported to the places of affected, and ham radio stations have been established communication link from the places like Gandhidham, Gandhi Nagar, Anjar, Bachao, and all other affected places. Hams were carrying Japanese transceivers with the batteries and antennas accessories have been airlifted. Once after getting down from the special aircraft, they went to report to the concerned district administration on their directions. Special ham radio stations have been established and passed the very important information to the national headquarters, New Delhi, and also they are having a parallel communication to Andhra Pradesh Secretariat in order to coordinate the relief and rescue operations, and thus Andhra Pradesh ham radio operators played a very important key role under the aegis of Andhra Pradesh State Disaster Management. It won the appreciation from the then Chief Minister of Kesubhai Patel. He directly spoke to the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu Garu, and thanked him for taking a timely decision for sending ham radio operators and helping the administration in taking the disaster management activities. Because of their help, the communication was very fast and the relief and rescue operations were done efficiently. So not only in the Gujarat earthquake and many other disasters like Orissa super cyclone also have been deputed from Andhra Pradesh to the places like state capital Bhubaneswar, Cuttack, Paradeep and Kendrapara, other places. Because of the timely messages passed by the hams from Paradeep to Bhubaneswar, a major disaster was averted. Timely action taken by the Orissa disaster management by deploying Indian Air Force transport plane for carrying emergency generators for restoring power to Paradeep Phosphate Limited, where problem was arised due to the absence of power. Unprecedented things were developed. The emergency generators were also failed to work. No other option was left. Immediately the information was passed to the state administration through the ham radio operators deployed in Paradeep. At the time, Mr. Hanumantrao Garu, VA to PHR, and Suresh Garu, VA to IPL. Mr. Hanumantrao Garu is from West Godavari district, Eluru, and Mr. Suresh is from Gudivada, Dadan, Krishna district. Both were operating from Paradeep on this occasion, and we were, myself and Mr. Shankar Rao Garu, both were operating control station from the Orissa Secretariat. Then Relief Commissioner D.N. Paddy has taken a timely action, and thus a major disaster was averted, and one way or other it was given a relief to the population of 70,000 people of Paradeep township, and as well as there was definitely going to be some problem to the people who are residing in Bhubaneswar, since the air distance from Bhubaneswar and Paradeep is hardly 40 kilometers. Due to ammonia gas leakage, that definitely affects the neighboring places, and Bhubaneswar is hardly 40 kilometers. There the VVIPs are there, which includes the Chief Minister was also there. So because of the timely help rendered by the hams of Andhra Pradesh, which won the appreciation from Dadan Chief Minister Mr. Girdhar Gomongo and other officers, and as well as Mr. Naveen Patnaik. He was the central industries minister at that time. And a special news bulletin was broadcasted by British Broadcasting Corporation with regard to ham radio operation in Orissa. They was continuously scrolling in their channels, BBC, they were showing like this, hams from Andhra Pradesh working around the clock. All these movements were really a momentous occasion for hams, and they won the appreciation certificates and all from the officers and as well as from the public. So not only hams contribution with regard to disaster management. So electronic development also definitely it will triggers with the activities of ham radio operators. They will be continuously exploring the new things like antennas. Maybe some people will experiment with a different type of antennas and some people with the transceivers. Different transceiver circuits are coming out year by year, new ideas are coming out because of the ham radio activities, particularly Mr. Rao Garu, the late Rao Garu, V2RM, his work contribution, he brought out a very good circuit, RM96. Still it is also relevant nowadays also, with the cheap components which are available in the market. He has designed, it was working very nicely, and later many circuits were developed by hams. Now HF communication equipment, because of their work available, and they are bringing out investment of 6,000 rupees of the transceiver. So this equipment can easily afford by any middle class ham radio operators, or otherwise it's a very difficult invest a Japanese transceiver which are very costly, a common ham in India. So many circuits are coming, and for cheaper rates, even satellite uplink converters are also available, 9 to 10,000 rupees, and thus it's paving the way to have a satellite communication. Once it was a dream, it has came a reality. Now it is possible to have a satellite 24/7 communication. All these facilities can be utilized by hams provided person is having a license. It is a really good activity, useful particularly to the students of ECE. Even it is useful, interesting to the other branches of people also. Nowadays, becoming a ham is very easy. Those days it was very difficult, and in some cases, I know in one incident, a ham operator waited 14 years to receive the ham license in Andhra Pradesh. Now things have changed, it has become a thing of the past. Recent license was granted in record time in 40 days because of the changes, the new amendments were brought out by Government of India in order to encourage ham radio activities. Nowadays, 7 days time is fixed for issuing, for making scrutiny of ham radio application. Now everything was made online process. Application submission is online, and issuance of license, that is granting of ham radio license, also through online. Only the examination is offline, that is only a matter of 3 to 4 hours. Examination results are also coming very jet speed. So hardly it may take 1.5 months, the maximum time for conduct of examination and the grant of license. All these things are changed policies of the government. They wanted to bring more and more hams. Since our country is having a massive population of 140 crore people and surpassing the Chinese population also, and moreover, the advantage of ours is having younger generations. 50% of population is less than 20 years of age. When other countries like Japan and China, they are becoming old, we are having younger population. Thus, if we motivate them, the activities like ham radios, definitely it is going to be advantage position to our country. So hams are considered to be the national resource. Japan is having quite a big number of ham radio operators. Thus, it helped their country to gain the supremacy over the other countries. It has ultimately become number one in the field of electronics. Directly or indirectly, electronic development depends upon the number of ham radio operators. And thus, now after seeing all these things, China also started encouraging ham radio activity. They are lifted all the restrictions on ham radio activities, and thus it paved the way for them also to bringing out cheaper transceivers. Those olden days, one VHF and UHF dual mode ASU company transceiver was costed 25,000 rupees. That 25,000 rupees was a very big amount for a hams to invest. With that amount, one can have a 1 acre of land in the prime locality surrounding Vijayawada. Now it is called Amaravati. But now, because of the equipment that is pouring in the international market, a VHF and UHF dual mode transceiver is costing only 1,600 rupees. Other equipments like UV82R, UV9R, all these things are also coming down. They are also almost lesser than that of 2,000 rupees. Nowadays, investing 2,000 rupees anybody can do. Now it is quite cheaper than any other cell phone. A ordinary cell phone is costing 25 to 30,000 rupees, but a VHF and UHF transceiver with a FM radio, all these facilities are available for much cheaper rates. And HF equipment, that is long range communication equipments, are also coming down with the continuous work of hams, particularly Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and the other states like Tamil Nadu, Karnataka. They are also working out, and because of their hard work, an investment of 6,000 is enough to have a high frequency transceiver nowadays available for much cheaper rates. If somebody is having knowledge, they can build, they can assemble their own equipment with an investment of 4,000 to 5,000 rupees. Circuit RM96. All these things are available now. So licensing process also, it has become easy, and issuance of license and equipments are also available much cheaper rates. And we are having plenty of youth. 50% of our people are lesser than 25 years of age. If we motivate at least 1% of this younger population towards ham radio, we will become number one in the field of electronics. I'm sure, I'm hoping. Nowadays, All India Council for Technical Educations, they are all encouraging ham radio activity in many fold, supporting, financing, funding under IDEA scheme. Ham radio and antenna things were also one subject they are supporting by utilizing of this golden opportunity by the engineering colleges. And incidentally, the many engineering colleges, I came to know, they are becoming autonomous colleges. Surprising to note, at about 145 autonomous engineering colleges are there in Andhra Pradesh alone. If you take Telangana and other states are also, you can calculate, you can imagine, thousands of autonomous colleges are there. These autonomous colleges, if they makes at least easy students mandatory, definitely more and more people will become the part of this activity, and that ultimately our country becomes more and more stronger in the electronic, and as well as their services are key in disaster services. At a time when all types of communication fails, their services become accessible. So hoping so more and more people will join. We are also conducting online training classes every day, and those who interested to appear ham radio examination in the monitoring stations, as per their choice, at about 25 monitoring stations are there, spreading all over India, and now more or less ham radio examinations very frequently being conducted, and these centers provided if ham applicants are there. So I'm once again reminding all those people who wanted to become ham radio operators, they can contact us. We definitely will help those people, and we will take up the responsibility of making hams by providing suitable training. General grade license will be provided, that is allowing ham operators in certain frequencies pump up to 400 watts, and also all the satellite communication channels are also available. Nowadays QO100 satellite is also available, and hams are enjoying 24/7 using their services with a crystal clear signal, and by using our own circuits. So with this, I am hoping more and more people will join this movement, makes this country more and more stronger, technological front, and as well as by serving the nation at the times of disasters. With this, I would like to sign off. Ramesh Babu Arja, VA2 RDM, signing off. For the time being, 73 is a code word in ham radio terminology. Bye.